All right, so we have some tea today, and this tea is coming from the Art of Dialogue. A viral burger story out of Atlanta is raising questions after a man's makeshift food operation caught major attention online. So the man known as King Leonard, he went viral after claiming the street-style business Nasty Azz Cheeseburgers was listed on DoorDash, surprising viewers who saw him cooking and serving food from a cart. The situation quickly sparked debates across social media, with some praising the hustle and creativities, while others raised serious concerns about food safety and how the listing was even approved. Now, DoorDash has removed the restaurant from its platform, with the listing showing as no longer available to customers. While some people respect the grind and effort to build something from nothing, others say the situation highlights a bigger issue around regulation, safety, and how platforms verify vendors. The moment has turned into a viral conversation about opportunity, survival, and where the line should be drawn when it comes to food businesses. For more information, you can go to the Art of Dialogue's link. Link will be in the description, and you can view the video that they have posted. Credit to the Art of Dialogue for bringing up this topic. Now, with respect to the topic of Mr. King Leonard and his Nasty Azz Cheeseburger operation. Now, soy de Los Angeles. I'm from Los Angeles, all right? In LA, you see plenty of people who hang out on the side of the road or side of like the subway, in back alleys, in front of defunct like pet stores, like no lie on that one. And they'll be, serving up food. They'll have the shopping cart or one of those little laundry cart things, like with the little black 4 wheels and the little handles that you see like the little old ladies in like the laundromats with. They'll have that with a propane tank underneath and a cooking sheet hooked up with like a flame underneath it. So it's just like a makeshift, like flat, like cooking service, like flat cooktop. And like for the most part, from what I've seen, they try to keep it as clean as possible. However, when you're out there and you're serving food next to traffic, there's all kinds of things that are being kicked up in the streets. You can see the dirt that's flying around and the dirt that's getting into your food. You're consuming all of that. So all the animal feces that have like been dropped from like birds, dogs, cats, raccoons, squirrels, whatever type of like livestock or like living creatures are around, and even human, because there are plenty of places like San Francisco where the streets are littered with human feces. Okay, so with that being said, and not only like the human, like, and also other animals, like biological waste. You then have chemical waste. You have the waste from cars, like dried up, like different oils and things like that dry up and then get like agitated and turn into dust and then get kicked up when cars go by or people drive by, or just things just sweep up the air, or the air just picks up because the wind is moving. You have the things that get carried throughout the wind, hair, bird feathers, like all kinds of skin flakes, all kinds of nastiness going on. So there are major health concerns with serving food, with having like a food operation on the side of the road. However, on the other side of that, those be some of the dankest motherfucking places you can go and eat. Oh my God, there's this one spot, okay, out in LA, okay? This was my go-to spot when I was living out in like Koreatown. Shout out to K-Town, my K-Town kids. You know what's up, brass monkey heads. You know what's up, Lucifer. That was my dog back in the day. He always had me straight. But anyhow, right there off of fucking Vermont, and it was Vermont and James M. Woods, I want to say. It was between like Wilshire and Olympic. I want to say it was James M. Woods. It was on the east side of the street. There was this chicken stand, okay? And there was this big fat ass motherfucker, like this big ass dude, He'd be in there, he'd be grilling up the chickens. He would have like a good, like, I don't know, 10 to 20 different chickens just going, like quarters, halves, wholes, like just cut up and all that, just marinating and stuff. And this big fat motherfucker, he's sweating and he's dripping and all that, And like, he's a big Latino dude. And it's like, he's just in there, and like everything because like they had a legit operation. They kept it clean. They kept it gangster. So they had like a tent with like ventilations up top, so that way the smoke can get out, so you're not smoking homie out completely and like suffocating him with those CO2s. But he was a big boy. And when I say big boy, I mean like homie was like over 300, like easy all day, every day. Like maybe about 5'9" or so, 5'7" to like 5'11", 300, 350, somewhere around there. Big, round, robust, Reuben ass dude. Now, I was born in the South. My family's from the South, but we migrated to Los Angeles. So, from my experience in the South, anytime you get barbecue, that was good. It was a big fat motherfucker who was dripping in that shit. I can't tell you if it's the sweat from the obesity that was the secretness in the spices that made the barbecue so delicious. I can't tell you. All I know is that if the motherfucker is over 300 pounds, he's sweating, he looks like he's about to die, he's hating life, but he's on that grill, all that food's gonna be good because he put all his love and hate into that fucking food. It's like, I hate you, but I love food so good, I'm gonna make sure you good, but you doing all this to me. It's just something about it. So I get it. Now, that place was sketch. I never had any problems from them. I never got sick, but I'm used to eating from places like nasty ass burgers. There's another little abuelita who had a stand, hot dogs, bacon wrapped hot dogs on Wilshire in Vermont, right in front of that 76 station. You know, when coming home late, heading on the train to Brass Monkey, you know, maybe I don't want to pay that $11 for some fried chicken. That's kind of pricey when you live in La Vida Broca and you making $11 an hour. Like, that's a whole ass hour of me working to eat some fried chicken that I got chicken at home and can fry my goddamn self. Probably better, you know, but I'm not going to go over the whole black fried chicken versus Korean fried chicken like argument. That's a whole other topic for content, and there's a story behind that, okay? But yeah, anywho, yeah, so rolling back to like the pad, you know, about to like head on the train, you hungry, you want something to eat, you only got like $5 in your pocket. Sure, you can go hit up the McDonald's dollar menu. Back in the day, I don't even think there is a dollar menu nowadays, but at that point, back in the 2010s, so we talking about like 16 years ago when I was living out there, if I'm rolling back to the house and I see a abuelita with like the shopping cart, yo, I got $2 on it. What you got that I can eat? I got $2 on it. Bitches broke and need and cheap. You know, that's just how you roll. And sure enough, you know, they'll go and serve you up that hot dog, usually like $1.50, like next to no money. So it's like, yeah, dame dos, okay? Gracias, que le vaya bien, you know, that's just how it is. So you just got to throw down and grub it up. Now, can you get sick off of those dogs? Probably, because it's right in front of the 720 and the 20 bus that are kicking up all kinds of dust and like a big old pile of gross, disgusting leaves, and a place where like everybody stops and piss when you can't find a place to piss, like on the street, you know, like no lie, like sometimes you gotta duck into an alley. I ain't gonna lie, I've ducked into an alley or two back in the day, you know, when I had to go. But yeah, with that being said, never had a problem with it. Those were dank ass hot dogs to me. Back when I lived in the hood, right off of 60th Street in Hooper, okay? 60th Street in Hooper, there was this pet store. Now, I ain't never seen anybody buy a goddamn pet out of that pet store. Now, I went down there myself. I didn't see any pets that I cared for. They mostly had like rabbits and like guinea pigs and other little like, you know, like creatures like that, critters, you could say. They sold critters. According to the Azz Humane Society, those are critters. But that's a whole other story that we'll get to that content on another day. Why I got a little bit of beef against Groupon and the Azz Humane Society. So anywho, with this pet store off of 60th and Hooper, never saw anybody buy any pets. However, after 9 p.m., guess what opened up in the parking lot? A little taqueria. So there was a little taco stand right there, and they served up the dankest tacos. Oh my god. I pull up like, yo, like, what you got over here? Oh, you got that carne asada? Oh, you got that carne asada street taco? All right. Okay. Dame dos sin cebolla. Like, let's just go. I just want the straight meat, like no onions. Like that's all I want. Or, add some onions, like just don't do that weird stuff when they put in like the lettuce and stuff and lechuga. You don't need no lettuce and no fucking street taco. Get the fuck out of here. That's just shit that will potentially go bad and spoil, and that's the type of stuff that makes you sick. That's why you get sick when you eat street foods, because you're eating the wrong types of street foods. But regardless, I'd go down there. It was 2 tacos for $1, okay? So every night I was down there and I was eating good, right? I was throwing down, and they had good sized tacos. And then I'm thinking to myself one day, like, hold up, player, if nobody ever buys from like this pet store, and every night they have this taco stand out here, where the fuck are they getting the goddamn meat? Is this taco stand making enough money to support the pet shop, or are you taking the pets from the pet shop to fund the taco stand, which then funds the pet shop? Or is this just an overall front for something else that's even more diabolical? Either way, I don't know what was going on with that shady ass place. All I know is that the tacos were good, and yes, they were gross because it sat in a parking lot that was coated in dust. And every time the bus went down that street, I think it was like a bus, either a bus or some big trucks. Either way, something big would go down that street and you would see a big ass plume of dust go and coat everything over that bitch. And it's like, all right, I guess we re-seasoned. And you know what? I never got sick. I was the healthiest I ever been eating that stuff, because I was pretty much getting all of the toxicity of the city infused in me. But then again, living in LA, you kind of do get used to some toxicity. When we would have El Nino back in like the 90s and shit, and the streets would flood, and it would flood up my like junior high over out in the valley, sometimes I'd have to swim to class. I'm like, all right, here we go. Like, I'm walking knee deep in water because I'm short, 4'2". You got like fucking foot of like water, 1.5 feet of water. Well, guess what? That's up to my knees. So it was pretty wild out there. You get used to certain things. But this dude here with nasty ass cheeseburger, I have to place myself in the middle when it comes to this topic, because, well, it's not safe, it's not sanitary to be cooking up food from the side of the road. I will give you that. That's 100%. But his presentation is on point. It looks like he may be trying to stay as sanitary as possible. And, maybe some way, somehow people can crowdfund and like get homie a cart. Because only thing he'd really need is like a cart and some sort of barrier to keep out like the elements from around him. Or even like some little like rolling, like those little trike things that I've been seeing those on like YouTube, where it's like the little like Asian chicks, they have like little tricycle car things, a little tricycle van, and then they have a whole ass house inside the van. You can get one of those and trick it out into a little restaurant and like give it to homie, and he can also convert that into somewhere to live, and that way he can still live free. He doesn't have to have a house. You want to live without a house, be without a house, whatever. It's fucking America. Do whatever the goddamn want. But the point remains the same. He is showing a lot of drive and a lot of initiative, and that should be applauded. However, the way he's doing it is not the correct way, so it should not be easily supported. However, this is America. If you want to support him, support him. And on that last note, I feel like it would be pretty dope if there was like a DoorDash for these type of like places. Like, no lie. There have been so many times out in LA where I'm like, damn, where the fuck is an elotero? Necesito un elotero. Because like, I like those corns, like, I don't know if you had the Mexican corn, the elotes. So the people who sell the Mexican corns, they're called eloteros, corn guys, okay? So when you look for the corn guy, like, and it's not always a guy. I've had some eloteras, like I've had some corn girls too, where like, they come out with the stock pot. Back in the day, they used to keep that pot going. Like they had the little propane up against it and all that shit. So that shit was like pretty like close to being like, good restaurant food quality. I wouldn't give it like an A on the food safety rating, but I'd give it like a C plus, B minus, you know, like almost up there. Okay, well, I give it like a C plus solid. C plus like D plus, somewhere around there. But regardless, they would have the pot still going. They would have like the fucking mayonnaise and like the parquet and all that stuff, and like an ice chest with actual ice that they're pulling out of like cold stuff, and like the what do you call it, the Parmesan also in the cold stuff. So everything was kept at its proper temperature. That's the major issue here with the nasty ass cheeseburger. Without having proper like refrigeration devices and like heating devices, they can't guarantee that everything is being stored and served at the proper temperature. That's where it becomes a conflict in food safety. Is the environment, is what's getting on the food based on the environment, and the temperature of the food, because those are the two things that will make like your customers sick. Aside from that, this dude is fucking killing it. Like, I'm curious. I want to try a nasty ass cheeseburger. I mean, my stomach is bubbling just looking at it, like, and after reading the story, because thinking about all the things that could be flying around the Atlanta streets. Oh, but I still try it. I don't know if it's because I'm a big back or because I just like to snack. I mean, I'm not really a big back. I mean, right now I'm a big back, but that's because I let my back get big, but I'm actually a little back, but I'm a little big on the big back, but a little back. I don't know. Like, bitch likes to eat, okay? Basically. And you know what? I'm always down to try something new. And I would totally try this out if I got the opportunity. Now, will I eat the whole meal? Probably not, out of like precaution. But that also depends. What have I had before? Have I been chilling? Because if I've been chilling, and if I'm chilling, it's like, well, let me go ahead and just get a couple of more bites of that. But that's a whole other situation, you know? Like, that aside, I really don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I guess like shutting him down would be the proper thing to do for public safety and like the in respect to public safety and public health. Yes, that would be right and correct. However, yeah, I just feel that maybe we should do something a little bit better. If I won the lotto and I like became a billionaire, if I had Elon Musk type of money, I would find people like him and I would build him his restaurant. I'm like, hey man, tell me what your vision is. Do you want an actual brick and mortar? Do you want something that's mobile? Whatever you want, I will make it happen. For him being someone who's homeless and not knowing him, but just understanding the homeless person spirit, because I've had friends who have been with and without housing by choice, okay? Not by force, by choice. And then some by force also, and some by force that turn into choice. So there's been a variety of things. But those who tend to like move into those environments and get comfortable with them, they find it as being freeing and liberating. And to put them within, to place them in a typical house or a typical apartment, a standard form of habitation, would just only suffocate them and smother them. So that's been my experience with it. But I would probably say he would do pretty good with, like I was saying, one of those trikes where you could just ride it wherever you want. You have the setup in the back, and then you can go and set up your house wherever you want. So that's how I would set up someone like him. But in order for me to get to that, I'm going to need you to like and subscribe to this content so that way we can blow it up, get monetized, and yeah, then we can actually maybe truly actually build a community where we're helping these people. So that's my rant. With respect to Nasty Ass Cheeseburger, more power to you, homie. I wish the best for you. But, yeah, we're going to have to shut you down because the way you're operating, it's a little foul.
Who wants the first bite? Oh, look at that smoke. The best rated. Come and get it.